Hello, I'm Sandra, and this is my dog Lockie. And we live in the city of Perth. We're in the city right now, and this is one of Lockie's favourite places in Supreme Court Gardens. That's actually, I think it's a little bit of a secret garden here. And I'm sitting in a Moreton Bay fig tree. I call this a cubby tree because it has these walls, and it just looks like a cubby tree to me. If you'd like a copy of Lockie the Famous City Dog, then you can go to her website and you'll be able to order your book through there. And also, while you're at the website, check out some of Lockie's adventures, because she goes on adventures every day and you'll be able to just see where she goes. I wrote a story and it's called Lockie the Famous City Dog, and it's all about Lockie. Lockie is a golden retriever. So it was written by me, Sandra Ruddle, and it was illustrated by Rena Bahabra. There's plenty of places in the city that are very interesting, and this book takes you to some of Lockie's favourite places. Lockie lives in the city of Perth with her owner, Joan. She loves it. Not many big dogs live in the city. That makes Lockie special. There are a few little dogs. Some owners even carry them around in a handbag. It would take a very big bag indeed to fit Lockie in. You wouldn't want to be the person carrying that bag. Lockie knows the best places to go. When she walks past the bell tower, people crowd around to give her a pat. She loves it. She likes to go to Stirling Gardens too. She always stops to have a roll on the freshly mown grass. She loves it. One day when she was there, the gardener joined her and they rolled on the grass together. A little boy came over to join the fun with his mum, not far behind him. There was Lockie, the gardener, and the little boy all rolling on the grass, wriggling, kicking, and giggling too. It must have looked funny to the people walking past. Oh, looks like this lady. I think that's his mum. It looks like the mum's got her phone out. And this man, he has a camera. That's interesting. When Lockie got up, she did a shake. And with that, the gardener and the little boy got up and shook too. Lockie loved it. Joan was laughing. She'd never seen anything like it. That night, while Joan was watching the newsreader announced, "Here is something that will make you smile." There on the TV was Lockie, the gardener, and the little boy, all rolling on the grass at Stirling Gardens. There was even footage of them all getting up and shaking. "Lockie!" Joan yelled. "You're famous!" Lockie jumped up and started barking at the dog on the screen. "That's you, Lock!" exclaimed Joan, patting her head. "You're on the news." She loved it. Everyone wanted to know about the big dog in the city. Strangers rang the TV station to report that they'd seen Lockie in other places. A young lady rang and confirmed, "That's Lockie. I met her at the bell tower." A man who travels on a bus to work rang in and declared, "I've seen that dog before. She was having a drink with the kangaroos on the terrace." The Transperth ferry skipper called in too. "That's my friend Lockie. I see her most days in the quay." Everyone wanted to know more about her, so Tim, a reporter at the TV station, was tasked with finding her. He started at the bell tower, but he was too late. Lockie's little friend Casper walked by. His owner said, "I saw her earlier between the cafe and the bridge." With that, the reporter rushed over the arched bridge across the Swan River. He stopped the ferry to ask the skipper if he'd seen Lockie. "You're too late," the skipper called out. "She was walking in front of the jetty when I saw her." As the reporter neared the carousel, The attendant beckoned him towards her. "You're too late," she said. "I was on the carousel cleaning when she pranced by. She reminded me of one of the horses," she chuckled. "She was walking towards the ice cream parlour," she added. Tim had a thought. Maybe she went to Stirling Gardens. He knew that she'd been there the day before. He hurried off, walking past the old cubby tree in Supreme Court Gardens on his way. There, in the damp dirt path in front of his feet, he noticed something. There were paw prints. Big paw prints. Lockie had been there. He started running. He only slowed down when he came across the gardener who had been on the news. "It's very nice to meet you," Tim puffed, catching his breath. "Have you seen Lockie today?" "You're too late," he answered. She and Joan went up the stairs to the terrace. "They often go through London Court," he added. "They may have gone there today." "Thanks for the tip," said Tim as he hurried off. Tim walked through London Court between quaint shop fronts. The lady from the bookshop came out. "You're too late," she said. They walked in front of the shop earlier. "I've missed her again," said the reporter. "She can't be too far away. Where is she?" The clock at the top of London Court chimed as Tim walked by. The horses circled above. Time was slipping by, and still no sign of Lockie. At the exit of the court, Tim looked right and noticed the statue of Percy Button doing his cartwheel. Lockie was not there. He turned left into the Hay Street Mall and wondered where else a large dog might like to visit. He walked through Piccadilly Arcade and asked a shopper if they had noticed a big dog in the city today. "You're too late. She went by a few minutes ago," replied the shopper. "If you're lucky, you might find her in the Murray Street Mall." The reporter gave a wave of thanks and hurried on. He was too late again. By the time he reached Forest Place, he had all but given up hope of finding Lockie. Feeling tired and deflated, he sat on a bench seat near the giant floating granite ball. He noticed a flock of pigeons on the ground. All of a sudden, some of them started flying away. They seemed to be upset. They seemed to be very upset. A few pigeons stayed, pecking at the crumbs on the ground. They were totally unaware of who was hurtling towards them from across the mall. Woof, woof, woof! It was Lockie. She came out of nowhere, with Joan way, way behind. The birds scattered. Flap, flap, flap. "Lockie!" yelled Tim. Lockie stopped in her tracks and turned around. "I've been looking everywhere for you, and every time I was too late," he said. "But not this time. I found you." "Why were you looking for Lockie?" an exhausted Joan asked the reporter. "She's famous," he exclaimed. "She can be naughty too," added Joan. They both laughed. Tim had quite a story to report on the news that night. "You never know your luck in a big city," he said. "With the help of Lockie's friends, luck was on my side today. We finally got to meet the famous city dog, and what a special dog she is." When Lockie saw herself on TV that night, she was so excited that she ran around in circles until she fell over with a thump. "You are a funny famous dog, Lock," Joan chuckled and gave her a big cuddle. Lockie loved it. That's the story of how Lockie became the famous city dog. If you visit Perth City and you know the best places to go as she does, you might just meet her. Lockie would love that. Wouldn't you, Lock? You would love that. Yes, you would. I have visited some of the schools in Perth, and if you'd like us to visit your school, and I can bring Lockie and read the story and tell you all about some of Lockie's favourite places in the city of Perth.